It's Danger Dupree, and I mean, let's talk about it. I got some real things I need to talk about, get off my chest. Fatherhood, and not just fatherhood from a perspective as a father, but fatherhood from the perspective as a child. I grew up in a single parent home, I would say. My dad was in our life until about the 4th grade. I just remember the day when he left. I remember it like it was yesterday. I went to school, and I never was really a troubled kid before the 4th grade, but I got in some trouble. I ended up getting a referral, and my parent got called. My dad wasn't home, but my mom was home, and I talked to her on the phone in the principal's office, and she told me, when your dad gets home, you're gonna get it. So I was just dreading going home that day. I mean, I probably took the longest route home possible because I've been walking to school since I was in the 1st grade, so 4th grade, I was a professional by then. So it took me the long route to get home. But when I got home, I sat in the room waiting for my dad, and I was scared, because how those dad whoopings can be. But fear turned into anxiousness because he never showed up. And so then by the time the nighttime came, I was asking my mom, where's dad? Well, some stuff is going on, and he might be moving back to Oakland. Okay. Well, that's where my dad is originally from, Oakland, California. That's where I was born, Highland Hospital. So long story short, 3 days later, he came back to get his clothes, and he had to talk with me, and he told me I remember it because he came home at night, and I was actually laying down, and he used to come inside of the house and play Temptations. Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And he was playing Temptations, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and eating food, and all I heard was him smacking really loud, just eating his food, tearing up, and playing Papa Was a Rolling Stone. And when I came out, he was drunk. I remember he was drunk, but that was the funnest he was when he was drunk to me at that time. So he was drunk, and he was telling me son, I'm finna move back to Oakland. Me and your mom are separated, but I'm gonna be in your life. And he just disappeared. He wasn't really consistently in my life. It turned from him seeing me every couple months to a couple years. Now, shortly after that, about 6 months, my mom woke up in the morning and she couldn't see. Her eyes had popped out of her head 3/4 inches. She was diagnosed with Graves' disease, hyperthyroids. And so they had to break her eye sockets and push her eyes back into her head. And she had to go through all this radioactive surgery and all type of crazy stuff. And I just knew for sure, my dad's gonna come back because my mom just was going through this crazy stuff. He did come back for a little bit, but he ended up leaving again. I just remember him coming to get me a little bit and here and there, but it ended up just pretty much turning to where he didn't come get me at all. He didn't talk to me. He started telling lies and flaking, telling me he was here when he wasn't, telling me he was gonna come do things when he didn't. And one thing I can always respect about my mom is she never said nothing bad about my dad. Excuse me. It didn't matter how bad he was or how many things he did that were portrayed as bad. She never sat there and told me about my dad. She told me that I would find out myself. You're gonna learn him for yourself. That's what you will do. So that's what I did. And eventually I told myself, after he let me down a gang of times, that what I'm not gonna do is grow up and be a father like him. When I become a father, I'm gonna make sure I be the best damn father that I can be. And that's what I am. I'm a father of 7 kids right now. 5 of them are my own, 2 of them are my stepkids. But I can say that I've learned different experiences of being a father. I had my first kid when I was 21. I went through hell and hot water with my first kid's mom, cheating, infidelity. I got DNA tests for all 3 of my first kids, and to be honest with you, at that time, I got to see not only my mother's point of view from my father leaving and my point of view from my father leaving, but my father's point of view about leaving, And my dad died December 15th, 2019. And what I can say is that I learned more from my dad with him dying than I did with him being alive. And the reason why I say that is because in that struggle of going back and forth with my kid's mom, or, kids trying to get taken away from you. Like, I was a full-time dad, single dad at a point in time, fully clothing, fully taking care of my kids, having them 99% of the time. And I was on child support just strictly because I wasn't on the county, and my kid's mom was on the county, and the county wants their money. So, it's just situations like that I see going on over and over and over with my friends and my peers, and just hearing things on the internet. It's just like, as Black fathers, not even just Black fathers, as fathers nowadays, we are targeted, and I feel like the mothers of my generation, single mothers and stuff, they don't make them like that no more. I think the roles have switched. I believe that men that grew up in single family homes where their moms were single mothers, they learned from their father's mistakes, most of them. And I believe that most women, they embraced their father's mistakes differently, because they seen the role of the mother and, the single mom of our generation, like my mom, the one who broke their back, went to work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, came back, cooked food, clothed, and broke their back for the kids. You know what I mean? And made sacrifices unrecognizable, like, where they didn't even matter. It just like, the kids first. My kids are going to live. My kids are going to survive by all the means. And they don't make them like that no more. Nowadays, these mothers are leaving their kids with the dads. They're doing all type of stuff. And I'm not saying all mothers are like that, but from my experience, most mothers are like that. I think I see more active fathers of this generation than I do see active mothers, which is a sad thing to me. But one thing I can say is that because of my experience personally, I'm gonna be the best dad that I can be. And I'm gonna be here for my kids until they take my last breath. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna be the best father that there is to be. And there's a few things that I can say that I do as a father that I feel like should be implemented across the board. And one of them is make time for your kids. I believe that you first off gotta be the best you can be. Be the best you that you can be. So you gotta really just focus on timing. I think being a parent is primarily timing. You gotta make time for your kids. Like, not only time for you to just have fun with them, but time for you to just pour into them. Time for you to just listen to them. Time for you to just smile in their face, whatever. But you gotta be there for them. And then the best thing is, be a good example for your kids. Don't be out here cussing up a storm in front of your kids all the time and expecting your kids not to cuss. Like, I know I cuss like a motherfucker. So my kids cussing, I get it, but I teach them that you can only be a kid once. So focus on being a kid, because once you become an adult, you're gonna be an adult until you die.